Honorable Chepkongas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the draft charter for the Open University of Kenya laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 29th June 2023, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 24, Subsection 1 of the Universities Act 2012, approves the award of charter for the Open University of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important motion, Mr. Speaker. This is something which should have happened very many years ago. Unfortunately, it looks like time has gone without this matter being considered or being brought to this House. Mr. Speaker, as you know, there have been 2-3 revolutions which have happened during the lifetime of the many generations that have existed in this world. The first revolution, Mr. Speaker, was the agricultural revolution. The second revolution, Mr. Speaker, was the industrial revolution. And the third revolution, which happened after 200 years after the industrial revolution, is the information and communication technology revolution, which happened in the latter part of the last century. Mr. Speaker, this particular university is being established after the third revolution, that is the information and communication technology revolution that happened, as I've just said, in the last part of the century. Mr. Speaker, what has been happening in this country is that those who want to participate or to register or enlist themselves in distant learning have been doing so through other distance learning institutions that are not established in this country. And so we've been left behind. I remember one situation, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, when we were considering one nominee in this House, in the 13th Parliament, in the 11th Parliament. Madam Speaker, he produced a certificate that he acquired through electronic means, where he went to school in a university that is equivalent to what we are considering this afternoon. And the question that was being asked, did you go to that university? You know, people were analog who were considering this particular nominee. They did not know that there is something called e-university. And so it became very difficult. I remember at some point, his degree was rejected because it had not been certified by the Commission of University Education. Fortunately, Madam Speaker, this university was recognized by UNESCO. And as you know, UNESCO we are members of the UNESCO. And the law which we passed sometimes that year said that any recognized university will be recognized by the Commission of University Education. So, Madam Speaker, the draft charter for Open University of Kenya was submitted to the National Assembly on the 15th of June 2023 for parliamentary approval pursuant to Section 24, Subsection 1, Paragraph B of the Universities Act 2012. The purpose of the charter is to establish a national open university as a specialized university to offer university programs through distance and e-learning mode. As you know, Madam Speaker, one president who went to Robben Islands when he was jailed, the late Nelson Mandela, once said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change your world. And one of the drafters of the US Constitution, by the name Benjamin Franklin, said, education pays the best interest. Why are we then establishing this university? Pursuant to Regulation 43.3 of the Universities Regulation 2023, it provides for requirements for an application for the establishment of a national open university, which include, among others, a cabinet resolution declaring the mandate of the proposed national open university and a draft charter. These documents were submitted to Parliament through the office of the Leader of Majority Party. Section 24(1), paragraph B of the Universities Act 2012 provides for the establishment of a national open university as a specialized university to offer university programs through distance and e-learning mode. Such a university is to be established by His Excellency the President on the recommendation of the Commission for Higher Education through the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Education with the approval of Parliament. The Honourable Speaker, the establishment of the Open University of Kenya is an avenue for enhancement of open and distance learning as captured in various policy instruments of government. These include the Sessional Paper number 1 of 2005, the Sessional Paper number 1 of 2019, the National Education Sector Strategic Plan of 2018 to 2022, the Vision 2030, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. By Gazette Notice number 11920 of 30th September 2022, the President, His Excellency the President, appointed the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform. Part of the terms of reference of the Working Party was to recommend a framework of the operationalization of the National Open University of Kenya and a framework on open distance and e-learning. Honorable Speaker, the rationale for establishment of this Open University of Kenya is as follows. One, the basic philosophy and the primary objective for the open universities worldwide is to expand options and opportunities for training, in-service, skills upgrading, capacity building, and continuing education. The Open University of Kenya will expand access to university education through flexible mode of study. The intention, Madam Speaker, is to ensure that wherever you are in this country, that you will not be disadvantaged because of distance to the universities that have been established in this country. So that if the university that you have been invited to join that university, the distance is too far. For instance, someone from Turkana may have been admitted to Pwani University, and that could be very expensive in terms of distance. You can register through the Open University and do your course and finish and complete without leaving your area of residence. You can do all those things within your house, within the community. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the university will break barriers in access by the difficult to reach groups through flexible admission criteria and by systematically building on prior learning. It will help to overcome geographical barriers to access by facilitating access in different localities using technology. Third, the focus on lifelong learning will ensure that no one is left behind in line with the constitutional requirement for non-discrimination and inclusion. It will provide opportunities to the youth, elderly, persons with disabilities, minorities, marginalized groups, including those in various forms of work who wish to pursue upward mobility or to diversify their skill sets. Madam Speaker, this is a very good opportunity for members of Parliament who want to further their education. There could be members of Parliament who are here who have a bachelor's degree, and they want to advance that to a master's and to a PhD degree, Madam Speaker. While they are sitting here, they can be learning. They use the tools that we have here, and they can be able to access the universities. And Madam Speaker, those who want, maybe those who have come to this house, Madam Speaker, as you know, we have some challenges. SRC says that we do not have any qualification. That's why our salaries are ranked and pegged at the level in which we are. Possibly, if every member here had a degree, Madam Speaker, we would be paid over 1 million shillings like all the others in the government sector. And so this is an opportunity for members of Parliament to acquire universities while working in Parliament. Fifthly, Madam Speaker, the proposed university will save the government the high cost of establishing and maintaining many conventional universities, as it has the potential to absorb large numbers of students at a relatively lower unit cost. As you know, we have students who are visiting here this afternoon, and we want to welcome them. I hope that one of them at some point will join the Open University of Kenya once we approve this university. Madam Speaker, the proposed university will initially offer 8 flagship programs. That will be the initial programs that will be offered by this university. These will include 6 bachelor's programs, universities, Madam Speaker, which will include the following: Bachelor of Data Science, 2, Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics, 3, Bachelor of Technology Education, 4, Bachelor of Entrepreneurship and Business, and 5, Bachelor of Economics and Statistics, and finally in bachelor's category, Bachelor of Agri-Technology and Food Systems. The proposed university will also offer 2 of the following postgraduate programs. 1, Leadership and Accountability. And this is very good for members of parliament. You know, there are very many members of parliament who have come for the first time, and they can register so that they can be better leaders in their constituencies, and register for Leadership and Accountability postgraduate degree. Second, Madam Speaker, we will have a postgraduate degree in Learning Design and Technology. The physical seat of the proposed university will be located at Concert Technopolis, while its virtual presence will be supported on a learning management system with both physical and cloud services. Currently, the seat is hosted by the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation, that is NACOSTI, headquartered on a temporary basis. The admission of the first batch of students is projected to happen this year, once the House approves, by September of 2023. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Delegated Legislation, having engaged the Cabinet Secretary for Education on Thursday, 29 June 2023, in its consideration of the draft charter, observed that the Cabinet Secretary, at its first special meeting held on 27 April 2023, considered and approved the Cabinet Memorandum on the establishment of the Open University of Kenya as required by Section 24 of the Universities Act. The Cabinet also approved the transmittal of the grant of Cabinet approval on the establishment of the Open University to Parliament for its consideration and approval. The committee further observed that the proposed Open University of Kenya will expand access to university education through flexible mode of study and by expanding options and opportunities for training, in-service skills upgrading, capacity building, Madam Speaker, and continuing education. Honorable Speaker, having examined the draft charter for the establishment of Open Universities of Kenya, the committee recommends to this House that it approves the award of the charter for the establishment of the Open University of Kenya pursuant to Section 24, subsection 1 of the Universities Act number 42 of 2012. Madam Speaker, with those very many remarks, I would like to request the members who are present this afternoon to consider this charter and approve. And I therefore beg to move, and I would like to request the Honorable Ruku, member of the Committee on Delegated Legislation, to second. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ruku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second the adoption of this report. Madam Speaker, the Open University